So to start learning Python, we have to figure out how to install the Python first. So what you need to do is open your terminal and type in Python 3, press enter. And if you're seeing a shell, then it's good enough because macOS already comes with Python installed. And if it's not there, I'll show you all the slides and instructions with under this video, right? So in your terminal, I have already mentioned the Python 3 is already installed, but let's say it's not available. So what we need to do is we need to head over to python.org. Okay. Here we have to click on downloads, and from here we have to click download Python 3.14. When you click this, you'll see a binary will download this 70 MB file. And once you click this, click continue, next, click on agree. And once you click install, this will be installed again. In case you're not having, this will be installed automatically. If you're having, this will be overwriting the version that you are having currently. So if you're already having, I'll recommend not to install. But yeah, just in case. If this method is not working, you're seeing a very big file or something or the other, then you can also install it using Homebrew as well. So run this command xcode -select -- install and then followed by this command. I'll be sharing the slides, don't worry, right? And once you do this, the Python will be done for you. So let's exit this, clear. We'll see the shell. That's it. And the other thing that we have to do here is we have to also install an IDE. We'll develop the entire software that we are currently making or whatever we are learning in Python, we have to do in that particular software. So here you need to write VS Code and then click on this download for macOS. It will start downloading. And the another alternative is to get any IDE of your choice, which may be PyCharm. This is also an IDE, the same specialized software that we'll need. In case we need to be heavy on web development, then we can always install WebStorm. So WebStorm is very polished software and almost every corporate is using the software from JetBrains. So this is the recommended way. And if you're a student, you also get a discount. And the best part is it's free for students. So in case you're a student, that's a good opportunity for you. So just download any of these and just run the installer and something like this will be installed, right? And now we'll see how the programs work in next video.